Fly dope swaggy, that's how I roll. On another level, on another level, on another one above me. Living through the crowd, yeah, I'm feeling so supreme. Feeling so supreme. On another level, on another one above me. Living through the crowd, yeah, I'm feeling so supreme. On another level, on another level, on another one above me.
The riders coming to the line then for the first MX2 race of the day, Jeff. And I'll say we've got a smashing race for race 1 and the RFX 125s. And MX2 coming to the line to see who we've got. Everybody's stacking up. I'm not quite sure. I think we've passed the doghouse by now. These last few riders coming to the gate.
Yeah, well, here we go. The calm before the storm, although we did have an incredible storm sweep through this part of the country on Friday. So we've already had the storm. Now we want another one. Not literally, of course.
No.
I mean, in terms of track action. It's always this kind of like eerie silence at this point. You know, they've kind of not fired up. It's there's nothing quite like a motocross start in motorsport. Most other motorsports start with a staggered start, obviously exception of Speedway, but they're 4 riders. When you've got 40 riders all lined up behind a gate like this, all charging for one bit of real estate, one bit of terra firma, about 200 yards down the track.
15-second board then. Well, revs are going up. A few people putting goggles on and stuff. Well, the board will turn and it will be eyes down. Here we go. Away they go then. MX2 race 1 underway. A good start from the middle. Might look like a white mudguard there going down the start straight first.
I saw Askew, but he got ran wide a little bit. Is that Olivier? Oriel Olivier?
Yeah, Oriel Olivier then takes it.
Yep.
Yeah, he takes it. And I think that's Askew there in third. I'm quite sure he was second. It might have been Doonson.
So he gets the...
No, I think that's Musto in third.
Yes, could well be. So he gets the, is it the Foxwood, the whole shot award we got on just this weekend?
So it's the 51 then,
Whoa, going long into that corner, jumping long into that, but...
yeah, the Gabriel SS24 KTM then, of Oriel Olivier, the man riding them.
That's Colmer in third, you can tell that, because Ollie's right up there with 6 foot, whatever he is, 4. Yeah, well, that's Colmer, I think, on the Chambers machine there in third.
And down the backside of the circuit through the waves. And Olivier then lead for the first time down into the stage sit loop.
No, yeah, that was nice. He just wheelied over those bumps coming. He looks a mint as he's but let's see what Askew's got for him. There's Searle in fourth. That's like that I can tell. There's Bobby Bruce he's obviously also rocking a red plate.
Yeah,
but that's because he's leading the under-21 championship. That's why we've got 2 red plates out there.
Yeah, 2 red plates. Then Tommy Searle rocking the 100 on the Dirt Store Triumph as championship leader. But it is Oriel Olivier that's starting to get a gap at the front.
Yeah, he looks good. He's going to be a formidable force. He's playing catch up. He didn't do round 1. He's been brought into the series from round 2. So that in its own right makes it exciting.
So he will lead across the line and take the Planet Moto first lap leader points.
Yeah, 5 points for him. It's going to be 4 for Billy Askew, 3 for Ollie Colmer, 2 for Tommy Searle, and Guillaume Dewson there across the line in 5th. The pace setter, the quickest qualifier in 5th on the opening lap.
Oliver's starting to check out. We need to have a look back a little bit and see what's happening for second, third, fourth and fifth.
Yeah, so Doosan third, Dennis Mustoe, Heyman, McCormick, Bobby Bruce in ninth, Callum Mitchell rounding out the top 10.
So there's Askew then, he's there in a good third. It's Colmer fourth. So that's a good start for Colmer on the Chambers KTM, as you said, Jeff.
No, Askew's in second. So, then Colmer for third. So, yep.
Doosan, our fastest qualifier, currently fifth. Mustoe sixth, Heyman seventh, McCormick eighth. I can't quite see who is ninth there. That's Bobby Bruce in ninth, Callum Mitchell 10th.
Yeah, outside of that, you got Stephen Clark in 11th, Garland for 12th, local hero Jake Nichols in 13th, Broadley 4th, Palmerson in 15th, Dennis Harrison, Stevenson, Vale. So Josh Vale got a bit of work to do back there in 18th currently.
Yeah, he qualified pretty decently. I think he was inside the top 10, Jeff, so he's got a lot of work to do. There's Clarkey just going over the top of the hill there. So here is Colmer on the 456, the Chambers KTM. With Tommy Searle. Tommy will love this track. This is a bit of him, I reckon. And he's coming under pressure from Doosan, the Dutchman, on the Gabriel SS24 KTM. Teammate to our race leader, Auriel Oliver.
Yeah, the track is amazing shape. There's even a little bit of dust kicking up there, which is quite incredible when you actually consider the downpour that we had. But it is in prime condition. You know it's good when there's like lots of grip, lots of loam coming up, but they're not actually getting covered in dirt. That's when you know like you've got perfect track conditions.
Yeah, there's no ruts as such. The landings of the jumper are looking good as a Doosan, looking down the inside of Tommy as they went through that turn there. There is Colmer. This is his best showing of the season so far. He had a decent run in one of the Euro races. Did he clip the same pole there that...
Not quite, no. What happened there, Phil, is he hit a big old booter kicker going in. It just unsettled him enough where he couldn't hit his line, and then he just rode it out. So, no, he was just over a little bit. That was all caused by a big braking bump. They mistimed.
Yeah, Tommy down the inside then as they go out of sight, and he pushes Colmer back to fourth place now. So Tommy Searle up to third on the number 100 Store Triumph. The championship leader then will want to be... he'll be wanting to put the pressure on Little Bill, his teammate. Still showing that the old man's got what it takes. And a lovely run round the outside from Doosan. Oh,
wow, that was close.
I hope they both come out and say there's no martial activity there, so that obviously all went off without incident, but that looked really close. And Doosan was having a big send down the inside of Ollie Colmer there as they come up into this Pico hairpin.
Well, that was Doosan having to pull out of that. Colmer did nothing wrong there. He was just riding his line, but the momentum that he took round the outside, Doosan just had to roll off a little bit there. If he hadn't, that would have been a bit of a yard sell. He'd have almost jumped on Ollie's back, I think.
But Ollie's coming back at Tommy here. I'm not saying it's not the kind of thing I'd have expected, but it's good to see that he's got the fight for that position. He's not happy to follow the number 100. And Mustoe is there as well in the background. Look, he's catching on that AC United gas, and Charlie Heyman. A good ride then for the youngster.
That was a nice line by Colmer on the corner directly after the finish. He just held out on the left a little bit longer, then cut across the corner and missed all those bumps on the exit. Nice.
So whereas Doosan was looking at putting a pass in on Tommy Searle, round that turn on the last lap, Searle's now broken free. But Doosan is trying to get back on the coattails of the Chambers KTM of Ollie Colmer.
And well, he needs to move because Auriel Olivier is flying. He's set the quickest lap of the race, 1:52, and he's got the gap out to nearly 6 seconds over Askew. So he is absolutely ripping.
I think Askew then not going to be trying to chase our race leader. He knows the pecking order, and Auriel Oliveira, top line GP performer, picked up by that Gabriel SS24 team as a replacement for the injured Max Werner, who I've not heard anything about his return. His name is still on the side of the truck, so that's got to be a good thing. And hopefully he will find his way back onto one of those Gabriel KTMs very, very soon.
Yeah, you would have thought it's not just a fill-in ride, obviously, for Auriel. You know, with performances like this, they want to keep hold of him.
You would think so, but obviously with the the Gabriel team really being, it's the KTM Junior team. It's supposed to be the ones bringing riders through, and you, with the best will in the world, you'd have to say, well, Oriol Oliveira's already through.
Yes.
But a great acquisition for the team to keep them in the front and centre, and to give them the exposure that they need in the MXGB class. And it stands well for Sean and all of his crew that they can deliver at short notice with a new rider.
Here at home as well, obviously, you know, it's still, even when you look at it, it's still a British team. They're committed to EMX, but, you know, KTM UK will want those guys running at the front, and that's exactly what they've got right now.
But Coleman having a great ride still, managing to keep the pressure on Tommy Searle. He's not close enough for a pass, but he is close enough to pick up the pieces should the number 100 have any kind of bobble. That's a weird turn. Everybody seems to be going wide to that outside line that almost looks like it's going to break away. Dunson runs the wide line round the outside, and a man who's impressed me a lot in the past couple of seasons, the AC United gas of the 163 of Ben Musto. He is there hanging on the coattails of this battle. There goes Heyman on the SC Sport Homes Husqvarna. Neil Prince's charge, then doing everything he can in 7th place. Bobby Bruce 8th, Mitchell 9th, and is that Stephen Clark then has found his way up to 10th?
Nice to see youngsters come through like that, you know, in Musto and Heyman. You know, prolific in the youth career, and then just, as always, just finding their way in Alex first couple of years. Now, you know, we regularly see them hovering around, getting towards the top 5 and maybe even higher. So they are going to be our sort of next generation of British Championship rider. They got plenty of time in this class.
So Dunson then up the bank there a little bit. But Ollie Coleman having a good ride here, and he'll be pleased to be showing the man who qualified fastest in this 250 MX2 class this morning, and showing him a clean pair of heels. He'll be pleased with that. The team will be happy.
Meanwhile, at the front, Oliveira is still gapping. He's still pulling away. He pulled another second on Billy Askew. He's got the lead out to 8.142 now.
So he's in cruise control at the front of this
He
MX2.
actually, Phil, took 2 seconds out of Askew that last lap alone. So there you go. He's absolutely ripping. Number 51 out there on the SS24, Gabriel.
So he didn't take
KTM.
He took a race win at Canada Heights, the second race there. Checked out. Had a bit of a mare in the first one, numerous tumbles. I think he was outside the top 10, Jeff, wasn't he? So he's still got an uphill battle for the points. And Tommy Searle.
I'm laughing because I was just thinking his introduction to British Motocross with Jake Nichols, and I was like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Well, they had a quick little roll around on the floor just to introduce themselves to each other.
Yeah, I think that's been out over social. Oh, a little bit of an over jump there from Coleman. He clipped the bank on the way down that railway straight. And that's going to allow. He hasn't got over. Oh, he gets over the second two quite nicely. But he's a big guy for a 250 now.
Yeah, he's tall. I mean, in some cases, he gets an advantage but a disadvantage. When it gets really whooped out, he can really hang off the back of that bike and get the traction down. But at the same time, he's a big old unit.
So they have gapped out Ian Dunson now. So it's still very much a battle for third between Searle and Coleman. But Dunson is starting to drop back into the clutches of Musto and Heyman. And I would say that with the turn of speed that Dunson showed this morning, I would have expected him to have maybe followed Tommy Searle through. But that's not the case. The track's getting rougher. Let's not forget that Dunson's never seen the place until this morning, so there is always that to fathom into it as well. Tommy goes over the finish line jump.
Just want to highlight what you said there, Phil, because he's getting used to the track. So you can go quick for one lap, but what you don't have is you don't have the knowledge of how the track develops throughout the day. And that's a different thing. So yes, good riders can always adapt for one lap, but then, you know, reading the track as the race goes on, that's what learning the track is actually about.
So Tommy then starting to eke out a reasonable lead now, or reasonable gap, over Coleman. So definitely no pressure coming from the 456. You see how that tabletop there is dug out on. They're having to wheelie onto the face of that, which means they're not getting over it cleanly. Coleman there in the background, into this nice uphill turn under the comms box. And they go down the back straight, down to the railway turn at the far end, down the Prox alleyway there. There's Doonson, there's Musto, there's Heyman. So they're all thinking they've still got something to be bringing to the second half of this first of our MX2 races here this afternoon at Blaxhall.
Yeah, they're all pretty evenly matched. Looking at lap times, obviously, Run Rider that's not is the race leader, who's now got his lead up to 9.5 seconds. So he's gapping on average about a second, 1.2 seconds a lap, roughly, to get that lead out front, and he's got a nice margin to work with.
I think Doonson has started just to come back a little bit to Colmer, so we'll see what that is across the line next time, Jeff.
In the under-21 championship, obviously Askew is picking up a bunch of points here. He was only 5 points off of Bobby Bruce, who's riding wounded. Let's just not forget that. Bobby has an issue with his meniscus in his left knee, and he's out there, wounded soldier, just trying to tough it out, but clearly affecting his performance. I can't even see him. Did he even go out? I was thinking about it. I can't see him on the start list.
Bruce?
Yeah.
No, he's there. He's there. He's dropped back.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah, he's out. So the top 10 now, Jeff. I think he's there in 11th by the looks of it.
Yeah, he's in a lot of discomfort. His knee kind of gives him jib. It starts to lock up a little bit. If you've ever had a meniscus injury, it just kind of jams up your joint if it starts to swell, and that's where Bobby's currently out.
So the DRT Kawasaki rider, they're not having the best of fortunes here at Blaxhall, but Colmer starting to fall back into the clutches of Doonson. We'll come to the other shot. There he is on the outside. So the Gabriel SS24 man, the second of the KTM's in shot, closing in. The 574, the man from the Netherlands. They've broken free of Musto this lap, so it's definitely a picking up of the pace from Gian Doonson. They drop Musto.
Yeah, you've said it before, I'm going to say it again. It is a solid ride here for Ollie Colmer. He's now coming under a bit of pressure. Oh, that outside line, it paid dividends for Doonson there.
That's what he did last time when he nearly jumped into the back off Colmer, and that beautiful sweeping line takes him up into 4th position. So we'll see now whether Colmer's going to be able to hold onto the back of that 574 KTM for the next probably half a dozen laps and stay out of the clutches of Musto and Charlie Heyman, who will see him coming back towards them, and maybe it will give them a little bit of impetus to these last few laps of this race, see if they can move themselves up the leaderboard.
This championship is going to be close. I've just got a gut feeling about over the 8 rounds. I mean, it's so tightly contested. There's not much of a gap at the top at the moment right now. Askew's going to take a few points out of championship leader Searle in this one. He's 11 points off of him. It's going to get it into single figures if it stays like this.
And it only needs a day where you do that twice and those gaps come down. We've seen it in MXGB. Big leads disappearing, just chipping away, point here and a point there. And also, every time you beat him, it's a double. It's a double game. The Doonson then starting to come into a little bit of black traffic. That's Zach Pearson.
Yeah, track again. Just want to highlight that it really is in as good as condition, I think, as you could possibly get it at this point. If any riders came in right now and said, well, the track's not to my liking, they haven't done a good job of it, I think even I would go up to them and give them a slap around the chops, because it's in great nick.
It is, isn't it? Well, there's Tommy winding up that Dirt Store Triumph. Doonson then closing him down. They've dropped Colmer off quite a bit. There's Musto.
It's good for Musto. He's found a level of consistency. You spoke about it already. I know we're only 2 rounds in, but he's there. He's 4th in the championship. He's looking strong. He's only really like 26 points off the actual championship lead, which it looks good. And he seems to have now found his feet. He is such a gritty rider. I haven't worked with him a bit. on Team Green, you know, he always goes to the flag, doesn't make excuses. He gets on with it, and it's good to see.
So the gap then between Oliver and Askew as they came across the line last time was up to 14 seconds. How's Tommy doing? Is he catching his young teammate, or is that gap just...
Well, he's losing a bit of time to him. He lost nearly a second and a half to Billy last time around. We have got plenty of late racing left. We're only at 7:15 to go, plus 2. So there's the leader, though, immaculate. Well, we said it, if you're going to wear white kit,
get a good start.
To be fair, the track's not turned up too much dirt on these riders' kit, but he very much looks the part here. He's got a great sort of relaxed style. He's actually like quite... when I stood next to him, he's not overly tall, but he kind of looks short and compact on the bike, but he does it. Reminds me a little bit of Harry Koulas. He hasn't got sort of shoulder blades that stick out much, kind of got that bottleneck feel to his riding style. And he makes it work. He's going around there pretty effortlessly right now, it has to be said.
But let's make no mistake, on paper he's the man that you would expect to win this meeting. He's been the best GP performance so far. I think he's either a 4th or 5th in a moto, and I think he's been very close to a couple of podiums. Not quite got there yet, but a product of the really, really good Spanish system that they've got in place, which obviously we're trying to replicate here with the MX Youth GB and the MXGB Championship. But Aurel Oliver,
if you look, like you really study way out, it's like he's kind of going around on rails. He's not over exaggerated with his body English. It's all fluid movements, how he moves on the bike. It is in like just really nice fluid flow he's got going at the minute.
He's not slamming into the berms or anything. He's just letting the bike run, keeping his momentum up round the corners, and
even there though, Phil, over that tabletop, he scrubbed it, but not to a point where he's like over exaggerating it, all elbows high in the air and all that. What I'm saying is he's a very efficient style that he's got.
Wheelies up the face of that jump nicely.
But they're not rushing that corner, he just kind of rolled it on nice and smooth, didn't let the bike dig in too much and get out of shape. So and that's why basically he has a 16-second lead, bordering on 17 seconds now. Lovely there, just rolled it, peeled it off, then rolled it back on to make sure he got the pre-jump off that jump. His timing is looking great. Any budding motocross riders watching this, you can learn a lot from Aurel right now as he sets on his way to getting this first moto in the bag. Still a solid ride for Billy Askew though on the Dirt Store Triumph Racing Machine. As we said, he's in contention for this championship. Very early days, only second round. We're moving into the third round of 8. But looking good. Remember, Aurel Olivier, he missed the first round, so he is currently, I think, 11th in the championship. But on what's he got? 29 points, so he's 60 points off the lead.
Yeah, he's still got a lot of work to do. They're trying to queue up the battle. Then it looks like Charlie Heyman had. I thought he got past Ollie Coleman on the last lap. It's looking pretty tight. We'll try and pick that up.
Yeah, so just like Phil says, we've seen that the leader doing his thing and doing it exceptionally well. So we've had a little bit of a masterclass of how to ride a 250 bike around Blaxhall. Let's try and get our guys, our hard-working cameramen out there to peel back a little bit. Here we go.
Yeah, well done, guys. They picked this up. So there's Coleman, there's Heyman, and it's Musto is the right. Yes, that's what's happened. So Musto. So Doonson has gone as well. So Doonson has dropped back. Whether he's had a tumble somewhere, that's why we were struggling to pick it up, because we were looking for Doonson, and he's not come across the line. So he's now behind Musto. So all change in the mid-pack, Jeff.
Yeah, and what that's done is obviously cemented Searle's third. Not completely cemented, but it's made it a lot stronger. He's now kind of not got anybody directly behind him. Bit of a gap to his teammate, his younger teammate ahead of him. So Tommy.
Dunson dropping down the order, Jeff,
Yeah.
so we need to keep an eye open for him trackside somewhere because
Yes, he's dropping down rapidly here.
he's now down to 9th and it will be...
Well, he's down, showing on the monitor in front of me, down to 13th. So he has not gone across the finish line as of yet. So let's see. He might be parked up on the side of the track. He might have just...
Well, that's not good news for him. Fastest qualifier.
Still falling. He's going to fall out of the top 20 here.
Hope we can try and find out what's gone on there. But here comes Ollie Coleman then, so he inherits that 4th place. But it's still been a good ride for the man on the Chambers KTM. There's Charlie Heyman, and then he's made a pass on Musto. So there's Musto on the 163. AC United Gas going down going round the pond. And Coleman then leaps up into the Apico hairpin. So Dunson has gone missing, and no sign of him trackside. I say we were trying to pick the map up, but the guy that we were looking for wasn't there. But we nailed it. Coleman over the line. So Oliver from Askew, from Tommy Searle, that is your top 3. This man then currently in a comfortable form, Jeff.
Yeah, he looks really good. Team manager Tim Chambers will be. I'm pretty confident he'll be pleased with this. Fair play to him. He's jumped on board and got young riders back on the team. It's something he's always done, of course. Tim has, down the years, has got behind so many young aspiring riders.
And good to see him back at GPs and EMX with Ollie as well. So,
oh, it really is. Like with Tim, Tim is one of those guys we need in British motocross. He's fanatic. He's right into it.
Well,
so
riding down. That's the 312 with Pearson.
Yeah,
is that Pearson? Yeah. So it's Coleman then. What was the gap? What gap had Coleman got on Heyman? Is Heyman going to be appearing in the background? No, well, there he is. The Husky's there.
1.8,
Jeff.
1.8. This is the closest battle on track, really. Certainly within inside the top 10. And having said that, Josh Vale is all over Stephen Clark.
That's a good ride for Vale then, because if he's all over the back of Stevie Clark, he rode up from 20th on the opening lap. Coleman seems to struggle to get out of that turn at the railway line. Whether he's just getting his legs are just not letting him get out of there. He's struggling to get his feet out of the way as he drops down that bank. But Charlie Heyman in the background there on the SC Sport owns Husky. He's closing in.
Yeah, this is a battle obviously not just for MX2. This is also a battle for the under-21s with these two. They're both registered as under-21 riders. Right now, Askew leads the under-21 charge ahead of Coleman, Heyman, and then Musto, with Josh Vale, the 5th place rider.
Rider down there. Let's see who that is.
Liam Garland. That looked like...
He did look like the 24.
Liam Garland, but I don't want to... I'm not saying it is, but it did look like him. His stature and his race kit, so...
Yeah, the SRS KTM, Liam Garland then possibly down. So time is up, Jeff, and it's 3 to go according to the timing.
Yeah, because they just missed it. So...
Yeah.
So let's see what there's... Well, oh, that kicker again. He's changed his line back there because he was he was. I don't know why he's changed his line because that other line was really good, but maybe he got a kicker on it and he felt he needed to. Now he's got an even bigger kick on that line, so he might just switch back his lines.
But this is where the skill comes in. This is where just having that little bit of your Tommy Searles of this world, they just know how to do this stuff. But Coleman is not off the hook yet because Charlie Heyman has been pressuring him now for about 4 laps, pulling that gap down, and I think he's in a position where he's going to have a go. He's definitely closer. And
he would have seen those couple of mistakes because he's close enough. He would have just seen Coleman get that big kicker into that corner, and as a rider, you're kind of like, he's on the ropes.
He's on the rope. I've got him here. This is the corner where Coleman has struggled. So, much better that time. He came out of there standing up, Jeff, so he's obviously decided that that's the way to do it.
And he looked like he brought the line in a bit as well. He wasn't so far towards the edge of the track. So, he's going to ride defensive, but there's...
Bit of lap traffic, but Coleman...
Yeah, Heyman's going to gain an advantage there,
for
sure.
It's going to be tight. Got blue flags here. I'm not sure they'll go down round the back of the pond.
Charlie looking good. Of course, he's been having a bit of AMA experience of late. They went over and done the first 2 rounds in that intense heat of Hangtown. So it should be a walk in the park, really.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect him to be struggling after doing that. And great to see that the team are kind of making that something that they do regularly. And it's a good, and obviously for guys who want to get onto that team, if they fancy having a bit of the AM8, then fair play to them. But here's Heyman then. The white Husqvarna down the inside of the orange KTM. The 20.
Let's see where Ollie goes here. Is he going to know he's sticking to that line?
A nice line from Heyman.
Better that time.
Really smooth, but not got the corner speed. So the 2 lap to go board is out for our race leader, Oriol Oliver. He's got a 25-second lead over Billy Askew. We'll make no apologies for leaving those guys out the front to run their race, but this is where the battle is. This is the action on track. And Heyman, having been there or thereabouts in this battle, found his way past Musto. Who we got in 7th, Jeff?
Just wait for our timing to refresh here, and I'll tell you that we got a split screen, so we get the top 20 and then it rolls over to the next 20. In 7th we got Jake Nichols, hometown hero.
So he's come through quite well then. Stevie Clark.
Then Val, then Callum Mitchell, another regional rider, rounding out the top 10.
So we think that Palmer, has he got enough left in the tank to hold off? I'd imagine these guys are pretty much the same age, Jeff.
Yeah, pretty much. Not much in them, like certainly not a whole year. Oriel should be getting close to crossing the finish line with 1 to go. He's now got his lead up to nearly 25 seconds. He has crossed the line. 1 lap to go. I'm going to make my way to the winner's circle. Over to you, Phil, to bring this one in.
Yeah, okay. So it's a little bit more obvious who he's going to be interviewing for first place, because it's then the first race of the day. But it's still been a good one. Some battles down the field. And this man of Ollie Colmer looks like, has he got enough? It looks like he might have gapped out just a little bit more on Heyman on that last lap. No sign of the white mudguard to... no, there's a bigger gap. Heyman was right on him, but here's our race leader then, Oriel Oliver. Will bring him round the final lap. He'll come up round the turn by the comms tower and make his way down through the Prox alleyway and into the turn at the railway line. As a result of that excellent start, he just managed to just ride away at the front of this first of our MX2 races. Under 21s then will be Billy Askew will take victory in that, and as Jeff said, he'll be closing the points battle down on current red plate in that one, Bobby Bruce, who is currently showing as let's have a look. Well, he's still inside the top 20. 14th currently. Well, the looks of it, sorry, 16th on timing, so he's not having a great day, so that means we'll have a red plate swap in the under 21 championship. So for the final time then, Oriel Oliver will take victory in our MX2 race 1. If we can go back to see if we can see, I can hear the on-circuit commentator absolutely busting his nuts right on the in my ear on the outside, so it sounds like Tommy Searle may be all over the back of Billy Askew on this final lap. We'll wait for them to come over. Can't see them on any of our cameras anywhere, so this is going to be really tight. As they came across the line, and Searle nailed him on the line. He got caught up in back markers and we could not see them, but Searle has come across the line and snuck second place by the looks of it by half a wheel. So Searle nicks second. Askew will come across the line third. Colmer fourth. Charlie Heyman fifth. Well, good thing that we didn't catch that, but how are we doing? Right, joined in the box now by
Hey, about Toby, phone on silent, get all this shit together.
So, fantastic ride then from Tommy Sill to come and nail that at the end. And so Musto comes across the line in 6th, Nicol 7th. Stevie Clark will come across the line in 8th, Josh Vale 9th, and Glenn McCormack in 10th. Right, alongside me I've got the legend that is Justin Morris. Good to see you, Justin.
Yeah,
that was a cracking race.
Yeah, well, it's not that great for my for my mental state and heart right now, seeing that Billy Askew's my rider. But yeah, no, it was a fantastic ride, and yeah, it's the track's tough, very, very tough today. I think the rain that we had on Friday evening has put a real base to the softness of the ground, and the Woodbridge Club do an amazing job here as always. And yeah, it's looking in great shape, and you know, roughing up very, very quickly, and you know, it's got all the makings of a bang on racing weekend, I think.
Right, okay, so we've got Jeffy's now up there in the winner's circle. He's there ready to talk to Oriol Oliver.
Performance, a whole shot pretty much, and then you just clicked off the laps. First time you've raced here?
Yeah.
So how do you find it? Learning the track is one thing, you know, but you made it look really easy.
No, it's good actually. Really fun track. Sandy, like Canada Heights, a little bit more sandy, but I enjoyed it a lot. Time practice P3, and in the moto I just wanted to take the whole shot because first moto of Canada Heights was a disaster. You need to be careful when you don't start in front, so that was the goal, and I did it. So really happy with the team, good weather, all is good.
We said that you had to pull a whole shot because you're wearing white kit, so you got to get a good start, and you made that count. It's very early days in this British Championship for you, but I mean, how are you enjoying it? How are you finding it? New people, new personnel, new tracks. It's probably quite refreshing to come and do something different.
Yeah, it's refreshing. It's always good to try new nationals. It's good. It's different riders, different characteristics, you know, and you always learn. Every race is different, so you always learn. So yeah, and for the team it's important to race the nationals. So important for them, for me, good training, and yeah, hope to keep like that.
And it feels like you slotted nicely into the team. It seems like a really good fit. Everybody seems happy over there, particularly when you get race results like this.
Yeah, no, it was really nice. First training already. I see that people have interest for get better, you know, and if we need to test something, we test. We try things, and yeah, definitely in the best team I've been. So let's continue like that.
I like the sound of that. It sounds like you're going to be here to stay for a little while. Congratulations on your first race win. There you go. We're going to move, Oriol, if you want to move out. Tommy's just gone back to the pits on that incredible race surge towards the end. He actually got his young teammate. I can't wait for the vlog again because it's perfect vlog banter. Tommy, let's bring you in. No, I know he won't mind me saying this because he doesn't race for the blog, but you make the vlog very entertaining. Keep beating your young teammate and putting him in his place.
Yeah, I left I was fucked. He was knackered. But sometimes you got who wants it most, wasn't it? Exactly. It's a lesson. That's a big lesson to him because Billy's a great rider and it's everything, skill, fitness, but just a little thing like that, I think it shows the difference, and I think that'll wake him up because he's got everything. Although it's nice to beat him, it's his future, do you know? Like, I have no reason to beat him, do you know? Like, and he has every reason to be in second, but he's riding amazing. He's technical. How technical he is on the bike, Billy's unreal. He's fit, he's strong. But just in races like that, he needs that little bit of racecraft, which will come. He's young, and it'll come. Do you know what I mean?
I know you kind of loosely play it down, and we say about the longer bike, you know, and how you like getting towards the end of your career. But I know you still want to win this championship. And of course, he's a rival. It's not just a teammate. He was gaining points on you then, and you've now clawed it back and swung it back and extended your lead.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously I lined up. I've been winning since I was 16.
Yeah.
36 now. I enjoy it. I put the effort in, do you know? It's not easy for me to do what I'm doing. I put a lot of time in it. I put a lot of effort into it. I got my family. Really, I like it when Alf watched me ride now. I rode with him yesterday, I'm riding today, but I still love it. They are getting harder. And I'm happy with the second. Normally I wouldn't be. Normally back in the day, Sean Simpson would have beat me in that one and we'd have been fuming. But it is what it is, and I'm happy with that.
You've got more pressure now because you've got to keep getting these plaques for Alfie because you're under immense pressure.
It is, yeah. It is a lot of pressure.
Sponsors, like if you don't bring home a plaque
actually, I'm more worried about him.
Yeah.
Because he does watch and he sort of says, what happened, Dad? But he's starting to understand sometimes you don't always win. It's a good lesson for him as well.
Well, that was entertainment. Cheers, Tom. Thanks, Tommy. Apologies for the language there, but it brings something to it in a way, doesn't it? So let's get Billy in. Come on in, Bill. I'm not sure if he was in earshot and heard all of that. You probably did, or he was probably tuning out. The master is still, the apprentice is getting closer, but I mean, obviously you're disappointed because you want to race, you want to beat him, but very close. But at the same time, you're learning from him all the time. He's got so much to give you, and as he said, he bigged you up there.
Yeah. So bit of lack of racecraft from me. I sort of I've seen the gap, and then I got to 2 laps to go, and I thought, okay, I've got a gap here. I'm just gonna bring it home, and then I sort of seen him get really close on the last few corners, and I tried to go faster, and then I started making more mistakes, and then we both went down the line together. I nearly went through the fence trying to get that extra little bit, but I think he just got it, which is it's frustrating, but it's part of racing. You got to learn from these things and not let it happen again.
But you're very much still in the championship hunt. I don't know if you heard exactly what he said. I can't repeat what he said, but he basically implied he's more tired than you. So that bodes well going into the second moto.
Yeah, well, I was feeling it then, but I knew he would be feeling it more, which was a bit of, that's why I sort of let it off a bit, because I knew I could save a bit for the next race, because I knew he'd be hurting as well. So sort of, but he's got that dad bod, so he's got that little reserve tank that he pulled out in the last few corners, so gotta watch out for that. But
I'm a bit disappointed. I've got to go back to the booth now because I'd like to come over there and hear some of the banter now between you two, between motos, but we'll save that for the vlog, I guess. Good luck in the second moto.
Thank you.
There you go. There's Billy Askew, Dirt Store Triumph Racing, the 2 Triumph boys pushing all the way to the flag at the end. But obviously, Olivia took the race win in that one. Back to Phil in the booth. We've got the Apico MX1 class coming up next.